Hey guys, it's Megan and welcome back to my channel. So it's been a few weeks. Actually, it's been like a month. Yeah, well, I've been like literally too sick to film. But anyway, we're gonna get into that in a minute. But I am very happy to be able to film again, and hopefully I will not get super sick again and I will be able to continue filming for the foreseeable future. But anyways, let's get started with where I've been and what's been happening. Pretty much, I think the videos stopped around when I was finishing radiation and stuff. But pretty much the day before I finished radiation, I was admitted to hospital. So that was the 28th of September. I was admitted to hospital with an infection called C. diff, which basically just means an infected colon. And I had that for about 2 weeks. So that 2 weeks was hell, pretty much. And I literally looked 20 weeks pregnant because I had so much fluid retention, and yeah, it was terrible. I had cankles as well, so those swollen ankles. But then after about 2 weeks, my lungs decided to go stupid again, like how they did during my stem cell transplant, except a lot worse. So I couldn't even sit up and stuff. Anyway, I ended up getting transferred to PICU. So PICU means Pediatric Intensive Care Unit. So that was a fun time. Anyway, so we thought I was going to be in PICU for only 48 hours just to go on high flow oxygen. So high flow oxygen is bigger nasal prongs, and it feels like you're breathing in a rainforest pretty much. It's not fun, but I needed more oxygen support than this or that mask could provide. So I was taken down to PICU, and I was there for in total about 2 weeks. Pretty much the first night I was on high flow oxygen, then the next day I ended up getting intubated for just under 24 hours. So, also not a very fun experience. I was on high flow oxygen for most of that 2 weeks. I was in PICU and we were doing a little bit of physio. I lost all my leg strength, so I have quite low mobility still, but it's getting better, and it was slowly improving while I was in PICU. I ended up having a PET scan while I was in PICU, and it showed that I'm cancer free, so little cancer free announcement here. We were really shocked because the radiation is technically still meant to be working and my scan should have still been lighting up, but it was basically a normal PET scan, and I haven't had one of those for a year, so that was really cool. I was really shocked. Yeah, everyone was shocked. My oncologist was, the nurses, everyone, but we were all really happy. And then after my PET scan, the next day, I got moved back to the normal oncology ward because I was back on the low flow oxygen, and we have been improving, just very slowly. I started getting really bored as well, in PICU and also here. But I am doing lots of physio to get my mobility back and to be able to walk around again and things, and also lots of occupational therapy to help with my hands because they are really shaky from being in PICU again, losing all my strength. And we're getting there. So I've been doing like cooking and craft with OT to build that strength back up. And it's also something to do. And then I'm starting to feel like doing more, which is like I can film again. I can actually talk. I couldn't talk for a few days because of my lungs, which, yeah, we don't actually know what's going on with them. We haven't got a diagnosis or anything. We probably won't get one. It's being called idiopathic pneumonia syndrome, which basically means they don't know what's going on. I can go on day passes. I've got to leave. I think I've only left once, really. Yeah, to go to my friend's baby shower, which was great. It was good to get to leave the hospital for a day and, well, a few hours and get some fresh air. And I haven't seen this friend for years, so it's great to finally see her again. And my graduation is next week, so I'm going to all the graduation things, and I will be vlogging as much as I can, but yeah. So that's pretty much what's been happening, and now I'm going to be answering questions that I got you guys to ask me on my Instagram about, like, yeah, all that. And hopefully some of these questions might be questions that you have. If you do have any other questions, please comment them down below and I'll try to answer them all. But yeah, and also if there's any videos you'd like me to film while I am in hospital, also comment those down below and I'll try to get them filmed. But anyway, let's get into the questions. The first question is, how are you physically? So at the moment, I think my lungs still at the bottom are like, they have these crystal-y things, or I don't, it looks like kind of cloudy on the x-rays and stuff, like, but the bottom of my lungs is like more blocked or something than the top bits. I don't really know. But I'm on 2 liters of oxygen. I can go like without oxygen for periods of time, or when I'm just sitting here like not doing anything. It's more if I get up and like move around or even like eat, like doing anything, is when my lungs start getting worse and stuff. We were actually visited by a respiratory doctor yesterday and he got me to walk around without any oxygen on, and I'm not really destatting anymore. That just means my O2 levels go below 90. So that's good. I only got down to 89, I think. And then I recovered like really fast as well. So everything is getting better physically, just a lot slower than what we did originally expect. And then the next question, how are you mentally? Mentally, I'm doing pretty good at the moment. Like, that's really only as of this week and last week, I think. When I was in PICU, I was doing really bad, as you can expect. I ended up missing like my last day of classes and stuff, which I was really upset about, and a few things like that. Missed exams. Well, I wasn't going to be doing them anyway, but still sucks that like I can't go out celebrate with my friends that they're done their exams and stuff because I'm stuck in here. But this week has been really good. My friends actually came to the hospital and like I had this surprise morning tea that my social worker and BMT nurse organised, which was really good, and yeah, it was great. Yeah, so also occupational therapy has been helping a lot because I had nothing to do. I was getting really bored, but now that I'm having like more regular sessions and like we're doing stuff, yeah, it gives me something to do during the day, and then also live wire because I was off precautions, because I'm usually on precautions when I'm here because of, like, I always have an infection, so no one's allowed in. But I was off precautions, so live wire could actually come and do activities. So I did tie-dye and I made some soap. But yeah, been doing a lot better mentally because I've actually had stuff to do. And I've got some more things to do as well. So next question. What is it like being in PICU? Yeah, it's not fun. The nurses, like, stay in the room most of the time, and you really don't have that much privacy. Like, I ended up being a really low maintenance patient there, but because those nurses are used to, like, having kids who are intubated the whole time, they're used to, like, being there and doing everything, but I really didn't need that. And especially, like, I just turned 18 and, yeah, I didn't like it. Plus, the machines would beep, like, all the time. Just, like, the smallest changes would make it just beep so much. Is it hard to be dependent on other people while in ICU? It is very hard. I hated it, like, because I've just turned 18, I want to be independent, I want to do things on my own, but, like, I couldn't. And I still can't do lots of things on my own. So it really sucks being dependent, but, like, when you're in ICU, you are so dependent on everyone else. And that's part of, like, why my mental health was so bad while I was there. How do you feel with nurses and your family helping you go to the toilet, shower, and changing you? So in PICU, like, they had to do everything, especially, like, when I was intubated, they would change my, like, we called them pads, but they're basically nappies. And, like, I had a catheter and things, like, it was, yeah, not fun. You don't, like, it's just uncomfortable, like, you have to, like, even, like, I had to have male nurses sometimes, and, yeah, like, as the time I was in PICU went on, I did become more independent, and I was able to, like, do most of it on my own and, like, have a sheet over me and stuff, but, like, it's still just really awkward and stuff. And, like, even now, I still have to have my mum, like, come and shower with me to help me, like, do everything, because I can't do it on my own yet. But we are getting there, and yes, I'm definitely much more independent now than I was in PICU. Were you scared when they said you have to be intubated, like the thought of dying? I was so scared. My uncle, at the end of last year, he passed away from COVID, but, like, he was intubated and stuff when he passed away, and I guess that kind of elevated my fear because I knew that he'd gone through this kind of stuff and, like, it didn't work for him. He ended up, passing away, so I was really scared, like, because you're sedated and stuff. You don't know what's happening. You can't say anything exactly. You just, So I was very scared that, like, I would end up dying. Do your doctors think you almost died at any point? So one of the oncologists, because they, like, there's an oncologist on call each week, but he said one of them was like, I was really worried about you for a bit there, when I was in the PICU and stuff, and intubated, and apparently they thought I was going to be intubated for, like, a week at one point. Thankfully it was under 24 hours, but, I mean, I guess they could have thought I could have died. I mean, I have no idea what my prognosis would have been or anything, or even what it is now. And I don't want to know, to be honest, so I'm not going to ask. So, yeah, don't ask me that question, because I don't even know. I don't think my doctors or anyone even knows, because I'm difficult. But, yeah, and also like being intubated is a really serious thing. Like my lungs weren't working at all, so the like machine had to breathe for me. Were you aware that you're going to get intubated, or did it happen so fast? So it did all happen really fast. So I was on the high flow oxygen, so we went up, down. I always say up, but it's down to PICU from here. But we went to PICU. I was on the high flow like overnight, then the next day in the afternoon. Like I was really working to breathe, I was tired and all that stuff. So we tried this other thing called CPAP, but the mask, like it was too big for my face. And then if they used the smaller one though, it would be too small. So I needed like an in-between size, but they didn't have that, so I had to have one that was too big. So my eyes like had to be shut and I couldn't see, but like I'm awake and I'm tired, yeah. But also that wasn't helping. So then they were like, okay, we're gonna intubate you, and like it happened fast and everything, but I did know that it was possible, and I felt like they were like kind of leaning towards going to intubation. Like I think they probably almost went straight from the high flow to the intubation really, but they decided to try the CPAP thing first. Okay, the next question is, how conscious were you when you got intubated? Did they sedate you? So I think they had all the stuff ready to like intubate me straight away after I was sedated, but they did sedate me. I had my mum with me when I was sedated. Thankfully they used my line, so I didn't have to get any needles while I was awake. But I was not conscious when they like did it. They also had to like do some other procedures, like put in a drain to get rid of the fluid that was around my lung. Yeah, it was only one side really, that fluid. And what else did they do? They did a BAL, which is where they like shoot some water into your lungs and then suck it out and then send it off to get tested for infections, which all came back negative. Lucky me, no diagnosis. I mean, it was good I didn't have an infection, but we were left with a bigger mystery. But, so the next day, like, throughout the day, they would, like, slowly unsedate me. I don't know what word I should be using there. They would lower, like, the sedation and stuff and change it up. So, like, in the morning at some point, I was, like, kind of conscious, kind of not really. So it really depended, like, at the point of time and throughout the day whether I was conscious or not. Do you remember the intubation? So I don't remember being intubated because I was sedated, but like while I was intubated there were points where I was conscious, so I do remember that. Like I can remember people moving me and things, talking to me. Yeah, those kinds of things. And then like there were points where I was like awake and had my eyes open. What did being intubated feel like? So having the tube in, you like are trying to breathe, because like, you know, that's how you breathe. But like you can't, because there's something in the way in your throat, and you kind of just have to let the machine do it, even though you feel like breathing. It's really weird. And like when you're sedated, you can't move, because they also give you this thing to like paralyze you, but like you also kind of can at points when they like lift it enough. Like I remember there was a point I tried to open my eyes, I couldn't, or there's like points where I could kind of half open my eyes. I could move my hands sometimes I couldn't. It was really weird. But like you'd try to move and you couldn't. It's kind of cool to think about now, but it was scary at the time. Could you hear anything while intubated? Yes, when you're like awake and conscious and things, you can hear people talking. So like the nurses would talk to me, tell me what was happening. I'd get asked questions like, are your eyes dry and things. I'd be able to like answer sometimes. Other times I'm not. Will your lungs return back to normal function? We have no idea. We don't even like have a diagnosis for my lungs, except the idiopathic pneumonia syndrome. So we don't know. The goal is for them to return to normal function, but yeah, pretty much we're going to try to get them as good as they can be. How much longer will you be in hospital? Again, we have no idea. Hopefully, so the respiratory guy, that doctor, he said he wants to like keep an eye on things for at least another 1 to 2 weeks before deciding if we're going to do any more testing or not. But pretty much I'll be in for at least 1 to 2 more weeks. But it could be longer or it could be shorter. We really have no idea. What is keeping you in the hospital at the moment? So the oxygen, because if I went home, I would need to be on home oxygen, which we need the respiratory doctors to be on board for, which is why I've now got a respiratory doctor, because we might need to do that, but he needs 1 to 2 more weeks to decide what, like, see how I'm going and, like, decide what to do. And also the other thing that's keeping me in hospital is my low mobility, because we have stairs at home to get up into our house. Once I'm upstairs, like, it's fine, but we don't think I could make it up the stairs yet. We will be working on that, but at the moment our goal is my graduation, to be able to walk across the stage, and we're pretty sure that goal is achievable because it's like next week and I can walk pretty far with assistance and a bit on my own and stuff, so we're getting there. But my mobility definitely needs to be better than it is currently, and I need to be like less breathless after doing things and be able to get up my stairs. And then also the oxygen is, so yeah, those are the two main things that are keeping me in hospital, and also just us not knowing what's wrong with my lungs and yeah, that stuff. What is the current plan regarding treatment and recovery? So I'm currently on steroids, hence the moon face, and that is what is like treating my lungs. So that is the main treatment that I am on, well, the only treatment I'm on. Next question, how many weeks until your next PET scan? We haven't been told, but probably not too long. My oncologist really likes PET scans. So. Has your GVHD resolved? So since I'm on steroids for my lungs, that's also the treatment for GVHD, so it seems like my GVHD is gone, but we don't actually know because I am still on the steroids. If I go off the steroids, it could come back. Hopefully it won't though. So we are hoping it is resolved. Do you still have your central line in your chest now that you are cancer free? I do still have my central line, unfortunately, but that is because I now have these lung issues and I still need it. Why has your upper body, face and stomach swelled up so much but your legs are so thin? Okay, so I am on steroids as my treatment for my lungs. Steroids cause you to retain extra fluid, especially like in your face, hence why my cheeks are all chubby and yeah. But the main place that it does make you retain fluid is just your face. So the rest of my body is not, like, it might have a little bit of extra fluid, but it's normal. I am normal. My stomach is very flat at the moment, much flatter than it should be. Yeah. The only place that is swelled up is my face, and that is all because of steroids. But also, just you shouldn't be commenting on other people's bodies. It can trigger lots of things. Like, I've had so much trouble with appetite and things. It's terrible. Oh, by the way, on the skinny legs bit, that's because I've got no muscle in my legs. That's because of being in PICU. Okay, and then my last question is, how can we help? So you can help by donating to charities. Like, okay, I'm gonna go find a list real quick. One sec. Okay, so these are charities I have tagged in posts before. So you can donate to charities like Bravery Buddies, Tubi Friends, Leukemia Foundation, Red Kite, the Children's Hospital Foundation, Queensland Children's Hospital, Starlight, Bravery Box, Canteen, the Kids Cancer Project, Children's Cancer Institute, Childhood Cancer Support Australia, Ronald McDonald House Charities, Radio Lollipop, Produce TV. So you can donate to charities. You can buy my stickers. I'm coming out with shirts. I think they'll be out by the time this video is out, actually. So you can buy one of my Team Megan Strong shirts. You can share posts, share facts, fundraise yourself. You can donate to me directly, like my PayPal and stuff. Just make sure to say what you want that to go to. So if you want me to like put it towards specifically help out with some meals or help out with the parking cost, because that adds up. And like petrol costs, you can just like put a little note if you want to. I would honestly prefer you to donate to the charities, but you can donate to me directly. Raising awareness in any way, like wearing your McHappy Day socks, like McHappy Days today. Yeah, like supporting those days, all those kinds of things. Those are things that you can do to help. I try to share as many of those events as I can, so if you follow me on like Instagram and stuff, I will be sharing about those things, and then you can get involved. You can also send things to my PO box if you want to, like letters. I'd love to get some letters, because yeah, that's cool. Or like if you draw something, I'd love it if you sent it. I would love to like maybe create like a wall or something where I can hang it all up. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and well, it could be a little long. Sorry if it is. But anyways, make sure to comment any questions you do have down below and any videos you'd like to see while I'm in hospital. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!